Welcome, everybody. Here we go. It's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious, gorgeous, sunny, warm, spring-like. Well, it is spring. It's not spring-like. It's spring. Downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. Streaming at WMNHradio.org. And, of course, you can stream it at mattconnerton.com. And hello to our friends at Raw Talk Online. And, of course, on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. Today is Thursday, March 25, 2021, and I am not alone.
Jenny, darling, you're my best friend.
What?
I love my song.
Yes, yes. That's Jenny by Studio Killers. Just occurred to me, I never think to mention who the artist is that does that. So there you go. I did. I finally remembered. Yes, yes. So welcome. Your first time here this week.
I know, it's been, but I'm only 3 days out from an infusion, and look at me now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing really well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Good to be back.
Yes, yes. Well, of course, I want to remind you we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot, and it's Thursday, which means it's trivia night at the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. They don't have their outdoor dining set up yet, I guess.
Not just yet.
The sun's in my eyes; it's hard to see, but
Trivia will be indoors.
That'll be coming soon. But it is Thursday, which means it is trivia night.
Better make a reservation. They've been really busy trivia nights. They've actually had to turn people away. It's been so much fun with their new trivia jockey. I always forget what you call that. Trivia jockey. So definitely make a reservation if you would like to attend this evening. It fills up quick.
By the way, Dan Lavasser in the chat room says, FYI, Facebook feed has no audio, but I just checked it, and it definitely does. Some of the shows do mute their audio on the Facebook because it can be, really just one show, Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C., which we do on Friday nights. That's why it's posted on there, even though it's really only for his show. The audio is muted because we get into a lot of trouble with the Facebook on that show.
True.
But the
There
other
should be a caveat on there.
Oh, okay.
Says which show?
Dan figured it. I agree. Dan figured it out. It was on his end.
He was muted.
Yes, yes.
I've done that. I've done that a zillion times. They're like, why isn't this working? What's wrong with my speaker?
Right.
Oh, it's muted.
Right.
Oopsie.
But last week we tried the Hop Knots. Is it a pizza pretzel or pretzel pizza? Did we figure that out?
I'm telling you, it is a pretzel pizza.
It's a pretzel pizza. How can I remember that?
Because pretzels are the whole thing, man. They're the best. They're the reason for going to the Hop Knot is the pretzels.
But by that logic, it shouldn't be called a pretzel pizza. It should be called a pizza pretzel.
No, it's a pretzel pizza because the pretzel comes first.
Yeah, but if it's a pretzel pizza, no. See,
I got you.
No, you did not.
I got you.
No, there's a terrible flaw in your logic.
Write this down.
Okay, so if we're talking about a pepperoni pizza. I guess you're not. The most important thing is the pepperoni. Why is the pepperoni first? By your logic, it should be called a pizza pepperoni.
Because the most important thing on a pizza are the toppings. That's why. However, when you do something magical with a pretzel, it's the pretzel that comes first. Because not just anybody can make handmade dough that good.
I would assume anyone with hands can. It's handmade.
No.
Well, unless you have ham hands.
I don't think there's anywhere else in the state of New Hampshire that you can get a real handmade dough pretzel all year round. Really good. Not from a freezer and somebody heated it up or nuked it.
Yeah.
These are real.
Absolutely.
So, of course, the pretzel comes first.
Absolutely, and we're very happy. We're very happy to have them as a sponsor, and of course, all of our listeners who are so supportive of the Hop Knot. It's really wonderful. We've met a lot of our listeners at the Hop Knot, actually, like when we do trivia night. We haven't been participating in that specifically lately because it's been indoors. But once it moves back outside with the weather and they have the outdoor dining set up, I'm sure we'll be back at it. And on the vaccination front, it's a good seg. Well, actually, let me give the numbers first, and then we'll talk about the good news coming from the governor here in New Hampshire. And for those of you listening online from other parts of the country, hopefully there's good news coming for you too, because I assume other states also are progressing, some more rapidly than others as far as the vaccine rollouts. But you can call us at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can text us at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can opine and interact in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do, so we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones, is to call us at 603-250-6007. Christian Lacoste is in the chat and says, I'm getting vaccinated, baby.
I believe he means that he intends to.
I was going to say, how is he able to already?
I think he means he intends to.
I would assume, yes, unless it's something we don't know.
He's just trying to encourage people, Maddie.
Yes.
You have got to stop it with this conspiracy attitude of yours.
Well,
you think everything is something.
That's a good.
Not.
That's a good thing. I was just confused. So you, of course, you had your first shot.
Yes, I have had shot number one. I'm not green.
Week?
I don't know if there's been any genetic changes to my body.
No, I think when you get the second shot, you'll be upgraded to 5G. And you'll be under the control of George Soros. But
is that what it is?
Well, we'll deal with that when the time comes. I believe so, yes.
I thought it was so they could, track me. They're going to chip me and track me like a dog.
Bill Gates will be able to track you. George Soros will be controlling your mind.
But in all seriousness,
but it will be worth it.
I did get my first shot of Pfizer.
Yes.
I feel fine. I think the first night I think I might have had a little reaction because I did feel a little flushed, but that could be what's wrong with me too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say what came first.
Yeah.
But I'm doing just fine.
So the governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, thank God we have a governor who takes COVID seriously. The one Republican I voted for in the last election, by the way. But so he did announce that the vaccinations are going so well that we're going to be advancing in terms of they've been doing this in phases. So as of Monday, I will be able to register for an appointment, and I think it sounds like things are going to move pretty rapidly next week. Monday 40 and up, and then what did he say? Wednesday 35 and up, Oh, no. I think it was
40.
I don't have it in front of me. I think Wednesday 40 and up, and then by Wednesday 30 and up.
No. Monday is 40 and up.
That's what I said, right?
No.
Monday 30 and up. No, Monday 40 and up. Wednesday 30 and up, I think, and then by Friday anyone
16 and
16 and up can register.
So conceivably by the end of next week, everybody who's wanting to get vaccinated as soon as possible is going to have a date. They're going to have a date and time certain to know that they're going to go get that. That's a huge load off of a lot of people's minds. Yeah.
Well, I'm anxious to get it because I have asthma but I don't. It's I have asthma and I'm under 50. So if I had something else wrong with me in addition to the asthma, I would have qualified by now. But that's okay. Soon. And from what Sununu was saying too, he was talking about people who went to register recently and got appointments the same day.
Yep.
So because it's like I said to you in the car, I said, well, Monday I'll be eligible to register, but we don't know how far out the appointment will be.
And wasn't that specifically due to the fact that they'd gotten an influx of J&J vaccine that they had not anticipated getting?
There's a lot of J&J coming. Yeah. And that's good news too, because I'm hoping that when I do get vaccinated, I'd love it to be the J&J because that's one and done. I'll take what I can get, but...
I go back for my second, 3 weeks from now?
I think it's 3 weeks because I think it was about 2 weeks ago that I took it for the first shot. Yeah.
We may very well be fully vaccinated, both of us, in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Depending on when your appointment is.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. So things are moving forward. It doesn't mean that we're not out of the wood, but the pandemic's not over and we're not out of the woods yet. Unfortunately, we're in the midst of what I am concerned, not to throw a wet blanket on things, but just being realistic. There will be I believe, hopefully not as bad as the other surges, but there is a surge in process because,
unfortunately,
you've got, for one thing, you've got the variants that are rapidly becoming dominant, which are more contagious, more easily transmissible,
yes,
and deadlier.
In some instances. Not all of the variants fall under those.
I mean, the good news is the vaccines, from what they're finding now, seem to be, the variants are not resistant to the vaccines, at least not much. So that's good. But the variants are causing this to spread. So you've got the variants combined with St. Patrick's Day, combined with all the D-bags who went to Florida for spring break. No offense if you went to Florida for spring break, but I personally think you're a D-bag. You really couldn't wait just a couple of more months to go and party on the beach. The alcohol,
I know, right?
The alcohol and the drugs and the unprotected sex will still be there this summer. I understand.
Along with your other buddies, chlamydia.
Yeah, exactly. I understand. You're worried that the pandemic is almost over, and if those opportunities to indirectly murder your grandparents or send your parents to the hospital, those are fading fast if you don't hurry up and spread some COVID now. I get it, but not all of us are psychos, and some of us actually care about other human beings, and we really would like to just get to the end of this because we're so close to getting to the end of this. But of course, you have these psychos who just, we love the pandemic. We got to keep this thing going.
You're such an eccentric.
It's just,
I know.
It's infuriating.
I know.
This whole pandemic
it is
and just, we have 500,000 dead who, sorry guys, but it actually didn't have to be that way.
We're still losing over a grand of people a day. I mean, we're still losing over 1,000 people a day as a nation.
Yeah. It didn't have to be this way.
No, it didn't. Because if we'd slowed the replication, we wouldn't probably be in as much danger with these variants either. But, the more something spreads, the more it replicates, the more variants there are, the more difficult it gets. This is how we get.
Yeah.
That's how we got vancomycin resistant. Oh goodness, what's it called? VRE. It's one of those it's one of those types of infections that follows in long-term care facilities and hospitals. It's very difficult to treat, and it's resistant to the strongest antibiotic that we have. These are the kind of things that develop because of replication. Mm-hmm. And the variants becoming too far out of the norm to treat.
Yeah,
that's exactly what VRE is. It's a sickness that got out of control and cannot be defeated by the common medicines we have right now. We haven't discovered one for it yet. It's not alone. MRSA is another one that you'll hear about.
And by the way, I mean, I do, I don't want to sound like I'm all just, bitterness and rage. I do appreciate all the people who actually do take COVID seriously and who have taken precautions to keep not only themselves safe, but everyone around them safe, and people who have masked up and done the right things.
Cleaning more frequently or changing cleaning policies or what you use in order to actually kill what you're dealing with? Is that what you mean?
Well, I just mean generally people who have taken it seriously because, No,
I know. I just meant that because I was just coming back around to why I said what I said was because that's how the hospitals have decreased the amount of sickness with MRSA and VRE and all these other things is by changing how they clean things, what they clean with, and how frequent.
Yeah.
Which is all we've asked mankind to do.
Yeah.
But it's more important to be able to put their hands on each other, apparently.
I mean, so I do appreciate the people who do take it seriously, but there's so many people who don't. Even a year in, I still see people wearing their masks incorrectly, and it's like...
but you see people wearing masks. New Hampshire, I think, has a higher compliance of people wearing masks.
Well, it took a mandate to do it.
We've seen videos coming out of Florida. They go into the grocery store, and the employees aren't even bothering, never mind the customers.
In Florida, they don't care.
More people, I mean, you got to admit it. On St. Patty's Day, I saw a lot of people in the streets wearing masks. A lot more than I anticipated.
Yeah. Does it really matter, though, when somebody takes their mask off and walks into a packed bar and then they're getting drunk and slobbering all over their friends. Does that really count? Do we really want to give those people credit? I'm not sure we do.
I want to give people the credit that are at least trying in some way, shape, or form to minimize the risk to themselves and others.
Yeah, I know. But... Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
This is Matt Connarton's roommate.
Oh, I think we've met. Is your name?
I think so.
Christina Lacrosse?
Barry?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Barry?
No.
Oh,
no.
No.
Don't insult me like that.
Barry is drowning in the Charles River or something. What's up, Christian? Very inside. I apologize, everyone.
We're there. We're at the point where we're going to get vaccinated, man.
Yes, we are. Well,
Matt, let me remind you, 2 weeks ago, you said I'm not going to quote you on it because I don't remember exactly what you said.
Yes.
But you said you'll get vaccinated between now and whenever.
Yeah, I think
What's that famous?
Yeah, I remember at one point I did predict that I would be eligible to be vaccinated sometime between God knows when and who the hell knows. And apparently that day is coming soon.
Yeah, what you
sooner
said.
than you thought.
I mean, I'm so excited because it's summer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, we are going to have, I think, one more big surge, but by the summertime, things will be somewhat normal.
I don't think it's going to be as big as you think because
well, I hope not. But
we have a large, we have more of a population that's already had it and gotten better, and those who have been vaccinated, and those are continuing to get, I think that this is going to be a lot smaller than you're thinking.
I hope so.
I don't think it's going to be like what we saw before.
But I am looking forward to having a somewhat normalized summer, and it does appear that is, in fact, in reach.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I can't wait to paint outside.
I'm excited because once I get my license and stuff, I can travel to a different state, not worry about getting sick and then spreading it to other people, too.
Yes. Well, you could, and you can travel more on your scooter because it'll be summer.
Leave my scooter alone.
The only time I always leave your scooter alone unless it's in the hallway and it looks like it's in the way. Then I just kind of move it against the wall
Seriously,
a little bit.
Maddie, we do not need you breaking anything.
Right. No, I'm very careful. I'm very careful.
I won't go near that.
That's just mad because you can't do a tail whip.
I don't even know what that is. Does that involve drinking? I'm not much of a drinker.
That's self-spanking?
I don't know what that. Well, that's for a different show. That's for Matt Connarton Unsheathed. I can't do any of these things, Christian. I'm very clumsy. I do not have the manual dexterity of a Christian
You don't have
Lacoste.
a manual?
Or that.
I was about to say dexterity makes sense. Manual doesn't.
Uh-huh.
Unless you're talking about driving the car. But no, I'm excited. Like today's news was that light at the end of the tunnel that I needed.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Because you and I were both up in limbo about this whole vaccination thing, and now that we're here and we're towards the end, it's like the excitement. It's great. I love it. I'm happy. I'm most happiest I've been in a long time.
Yeah. No, it's a big relief. I mean, it's at this point, it's more than just light at the end of the tunnel. We're actually almost there. We really are genuinely almost there. Thank God. It's been a rough year.
Yep.
For a lot of people.
You know, on this day last year, that Massachusetts locked down.
Oh, was it? It was on this day last year that they did?
Yep, March 26th or 25th. I keep seeing it pop up in my Facebook feed for some random reason.
Oh, okay.
But hey, I'm glad. I'll let you guys get back to the show. Great show.
Thank you.
I'm stoked on the vaccination thing. I'm glad you covered it.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely. All right, Christian. Thank you for the call.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Christian Lacoste. He has to be nice when he calls because we know where he lives.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
I know when he does his laundry.
Yeah, even that, yes. Well, that opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476, tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. We do have a lot of folks in the Facebook live chat, so we'll say hello to everyone in there. Let's see, Brian Mackey, all the way from Idaho, joins us. Hello, Brian. Christian Lacoste, who is a top fan, is also in the chat room, and he says, "Hola." I don't know if I like that. Around here, we speak American.
Hi, Matt. He said hello.
He said "Hola,"
which is hello.
Oh, that's
in
right.
Spanish.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Did you take that class?
Actually, I did. I do introduce the second hour by referring to it as numero dos.
And do you know what that means?
Number 2.
Very good.
I took 3 years of Spanish. I remember very little of it, but I do recall that I enjoyed being called Mateo, which
I
is
took
Matthew in
Spanish and French.
No.
And the only thing I can tell you is my name was Genevieve.
No.
And I stunk at both languages.
Rocky Huber is in the chat room. He says it turned out to be a great day today. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful out. Beautiful out. Jenny, you're in there. You said shalom, peeps.
I'm everywhere.
Yes. Dan Lavasser says shots, shots, shots next week. Yes, indeed. Abigail Jem joins us. She says, hi, folks. Rob Dion is in the chat room. Rob, of course, part of the WMNH family, host of Through the Staged Door and the entertainment reporter on the morning show, Thursday mornings. And he does name that tune. He brings in his keyboard and the whole deal.
And his dulcet tones.
Yes, yes.
And they sing along.
Yes, they sure do. Oh, it was interesting to hear Nick LaValle on the morning show this morning. Hadn't heard Nick on there in a long time.
I think that's going to start happening more frequently now that things are getting better.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Maybe we may be looking at the end of our tunnel on being allowed to have guests here with us.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll see. You know, we
after we're both vaccinated,
right?
Fully.
When we've both been fully vaccinated.
I'm just marinating in my
point,
first dose right now,
yeah,
so I'm not there yet.
At that point, we will reassess and reevaluate, and it would be. I do miss having guests with us in the studio. Tom Blanchard says, "Crown, please." Is that a
Crown?
A drink?
Isn't it?
I think so.
Crown
yes,
and Coke.
yes.
That's a drink.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are we crowning?
I don't know. It must be that time.
Oh, no, wait. Crowning is when a baby is presenting and about to be born into the world.
Ooh, childbirth. That's disgusting. I don't even want to think about that. That's some nasty business.
That's
Yikes,
crowning.
that sounds terrifying.
There's no going back then.
Bobby Champagne says, good afternoon to a very enthusiastic Matt and Jenny. You are both looking well. Well, thank you.
I'm not enthusiastic.
No?
Maybe a little. Maybe a little.
Yeah. Let's see. Christian says, no, Jack Daniels. You are too young, my friend. How dare you? Oh, no.
Ew, I've never been a hard liquor person, really.
Yeah, me neither. Bobby says, are the Juggernauts going to play... Oh, I'm sorry. Are they going to make an appearance to play trivia in the future? Oh, I think... I don't know. Jenny's Juggernauts, the team at
Maybe we should do a new name.
For trivia night. Oh, you want a new name?
Should we have a new name and a new team?
I don't know. I hadn't even considered that.
Maybe we should just have floating chairs. The first 7 are on the team.
I don't know. Could call...
Because that stinks that we can only do... I want to have, everybody on one team.
Right.
I hate it when we have to split it into 2.
But it's not fair to have too many people on a team because the more...
Why not?
Well, because the more people, the more brain power.
That's right.
That gives that team.
That's right. You show up. You bring it.
Well, yeah, but the team with the most
America.
people, if it's too many people, then they have an unfair advantage. Oh,
no, it's not.
Well, if you have one team with 10 people and the other team's got 3 people.
You're assuming all 10 have brains.
No, that's a good point.
What if there's a few Trumpies in there?
No,
I mean, come on.
I think we repel them.
You could have some QAnons, little shaker of flat earthers.
Yeah.
Side order of vaccine 5G. Lizard eating.
Oh no.
Children stealing.
Oh my goodness.
These are all things that people in the real world now believe, and that's mainstream. How twisted is that?
Well,
don't you ever just look at it and just be like, how? How did this happen? How did we become dumber as a species?
It's mainstream for one of the 2 political parties.
To think that the Earth is flat. Really? How? How do you think these things?
Well,
How do you believe that the Earth is flat? Come on.
Well, they're kind of
Really?
in their they're kind of in their own zone though, because
No, they're not.
Well, they
There's
are
a bunch
in a way.
of them in the QAnon peoples.
No, I know, but they're kind of in their own zone in one sense. I've actually known hardcore conspiracy theorists who believe almost any conspiracy you can mention, who actually think the flat earthers are stupid. So they're kind of in their own corner of conspiracy theory land, but there are a lot of them. Yes, there are a lot of them.
And they walk around and they breed and they vote.
Yes.
I don't mind them walking around. I don't mind them breathing air. Breeding, on the other hand, maybe we could, bring that down a peg or two.
Walking around is dangerous for them. They might fall off the edge of the earth. Wayne Noel is a top fan all the way from Michigan. Hello, Wayne. Bobby says, I have my appointment to get my first of my 2 vaccination shots on April 9. Yahoo! That is excellent. Good for you.
Very good, very good.
Oh, Tom Blanchard says, my wife and I got our appointments. Excellent.
That's awesome. That's awesome. See, I'm loving all this good news we're hearing today.
Yeah, it is
I like
good.
hearing people say, look what happened to me today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know somebody that got a check in the mail today.
Yes.
Yeah, we know somebody that got their check in the mail, and apparently thousands of Americans have gotten checks in the mail today on their stimulus money. So check your mail. And you know what? Be careful, folks, because it's a weird-looking little envelope sometimes. If you've had to pay taxes, it's very possible that you'll get a paper check versus a direct deposit because you gave them money instead of them giving you money.
Yes.
So in those, there are people who are getting checks for that simple fact.
Yeah.
And it is just a thin little envelope that looks like a little thing of stamps or ask you for money thing. It doesn't glare out there.
Well, it's fairly, although the check that I saw today.
Okay, but we're dealing with people who don't do checks.
Well, I know, but the envelope I saw today made it clear it was from the IRS.
Yeah, but the IRS calls me all the time to tell me how the feds are outside the door and they're going to arrest me.
Well, but that's
and they're bringing my new warranty for my car at the same time.
But that's a scam. The IRS won't actually call you. But you do bring up a good point though for people who don't know, because this happened before. Some people, they don't get a check or a direct deposit. Some people get a debit card.
Yes.
So make sure you keep and I don't know why some people get a debit card, but make sure you keep an eye out for that. If you haven't gotten anything yet, it could be a debit card. Don't assume it's junk mail.
And I mentioned that this envelope is smaller than normal and very thin.
Yeah.
So what I'm recommending is, you know what, for the time being, just take the moment to take your mail and go sit down and look at it. Mm-hmm. Instead of just very quickly tossing everything. You don't want to toss money in the trash. You don't know for certain which way the gov is going to show up at your door, whether it's going to be a deposit into your bank account, a paper check in the mail, or like you just said, a pre-filled card, like a Visa, MasterCard type thing. Little debit card they give you.
Yeah.
It's like a gift card, and it has your $1,400 on there. So $1,400, you don't want to throw that away, because it's going to take you forever and a day to try and get it again.
Right.
I mean, imagine calling the IRS to ask them. Yeah. Just watch your mail, sit down, take a moment, and make sure you don't accidentally toss it away. And just do that until you actually do get your payment. Or for everybody that's in your household.
Dan Lavasser mentioned the Jewish space lasers.
Stop it. You're not supposed to talk about them. See, I can't take you anywhere.
Well, now that you've had your first shot of the vaccine, do you believe in the Jewish space lasers?
I am Jewish.
Oh, that's right.
Stop it.
Okay, so you're not supposed to talk about it.
Only the other half of me.
I did see George Soros on your caller ID, but I'm probably not supposed to mention
I'm a descendant of Julius Caesar.
Seizure?
Yeah.
Oh, no. He should see a doctor.
Apparently.
My goodness.
You can do that now. There are places set up
Have a seizure?
No, you can actually. I love archaeology and history and everything.
Yes.
Okay, so all these archaeological digs in places that go on all over the world. Think about what gets found there. There's DNA that gets found there in the sarcophagi, in the bones, in cloth materials buried with people. There's DNA. And there are these pop-ups that are coming up where you can submit your DNA if you want to and run it against these finds and see if there are any hits. And if there's a large hit, like I did hit with a few of them that were really kind of big hits and surprised me. And you get to learn a little bit more about history or see where you genetically fit, in that primordial soup looking backwards.
Yes.
It's fun to me. I love history. I love archaeology. I love learning about stuff like this. So to me, that's fun to go, oh, look, your genetics match this person that died, thousands of years ago.
I thought the Earth was only like 10,000 years old or something. No?
I think that's only by biblical terminology.
Oh.
Now you're going in a different direction.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
See, back in the science-y thing.
Oh, science.
Do you know they've actually found evidence that humans and Neanderthals had sex?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
know how
know.
they found that out?
I don't
They found the DNA.
I don't approve of that.
Oh.
No, I mean, I like to think I'm progressive on these things, but that's
You're gonna mix your species.
I draw the line there. Bobby Champagne says, has anyone said how long these vaccinations will last once you get them? Do we need to get them yearly like our flu shots? I think that's kind of an open question still, right?
It is, but there are, I think that's what people are automatically thinking right now. I think that's what science is thinking right now. There are, like Moderna's working on a booster already. They're already looking at booster shots. They're already looking at doing that. And that may be something that eventually we don't have to do, just like the smallpox vaccine.
Yeah.
I get the mark on my arm. You don't.
Yeah.
I'm actually considered somebody that's young for having a mark on our arm because it was the other generation. But I had a really old school pediatrician.
Oh.
He was like my parents' pediatrician or something like that.
Yeah.
So I actually have the smallpox mark.
Mm.
And smallpox isn't a problem in the United States anymore. So why is that? Vaccinations work.
What if it's the mark of the beast?
It's science.
Oh.
Oh my God, you got a new phone, Maddie.
Yeah, like I said, the mark of the beast.
Oh, I know. I get it now. Because you're going to sign up for your shot now, and you just got your new phone, and it's 5G. And when the 5G and the shot mix together in your brain, because you hold your phone near your brain, and it mixes with the 5G, then you will be fully indoctrinated into a sheeple.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Wow, that's terrifying.
I wonder if you start saying "ba" when you turn into a sheeple.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I don't know. Maybe interesting.
Christian said, COVID-safe vaccination party at my place. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't think so.
You better walk that back.
Yeah. He did. He said, oh, wait. Brian Mackey says, the only side effect I've seen since my shot Monday is all my tattoos disappeared.
What?
Wow, that's
my tattoo's
remarkable.
still good.
Wow, well, apparently.
Maybe you had a lousy artist. I mean,
well,
I
you know
don't
what? He does live in Idaho. Everything's different there.
I got mine in New Hampshire. Although I think I might get my next one in the Netherlands.
Rocky Huber says, it's tank top season. Can't wait till Easy G returns to the airwaves, LOL.
Will you stop sexualizing Easy, Rocky? We've had this discussion. He's not for you.
It's very difficult.
You're too young.
Look, I'm pretty firmly on the heterosexual end of the spectrum, I think. But I have to admit, when Easy G is in the room with and he's showing off his muscles, I find myself objectifying him a little bit.
Why is that disturbing me? Let me think a minute. Oh, yeah. You're supposed to be my boyfriend.
Right. Yeah.
Partner.
Yeah. Not generally into dudes, but, it is Easy G. And
I don't mind
he's a
if
big
you're
star.
bisexual. Bisexual is fine.
All right.
I'm good with that.
Sure. Well, you just never know.
But, there's an age difference there that maybe you should consider.
That's true. He's in his early 70s.
Yeah.
Brian
That's why I'm saying Rocky, man.
Yeah.
I mean...
Brian Mackey says, chlamydia and tomato juice, that's a drink, right?
Oh.
That sounds terrible.
Maybe in your household.
Wow.
Ew.
Oh, my.
Ew. Gross.
I'm going to skip some of these comments as the conversation of STDs
a little too colorful.
continue. Yeah, Bobby
Will you
Champagne.
guys stop swapping things?
Bobby says, is that too blue for this chat room? Not too blue. You can say whatever you want.
Guys
The
can
chat room is
swap
entirely
your germies between yourselves.
the chat room is an entirely uncensored place.
Don't spread it though.
I rarely the only things I ever delete in the chat room are. There were a couple people who made a couple of comments about our friend Tom Gully recently that I had to delete. But
we don't like that.
Other than that,
and I still say I like Tom.
I like Tom Gully.
He's always nice to me, and I always have a good conversation with him, and I enjoy watching his show and going into the chat room.
I love Tom Gully.
Never
I think,
been a meanie to me.
Tom is he's an amazing man. He's a great broadcaster. He's a humanitarian. He's The other day,
I think they got off on the wrong foot.
The other day, I saw. I thought I saw him helping an old lady across the street.
No, Maddie, that wasn't him.
I yelled out, "Hey, Tom!" He didn't answer, and then I remembered that he does live in another part of the country. But no, Tom Gully is A-OK with US. That meaning us. A-OK with us.
That's just not good.
Well, I just
that was really lousy, Maddie.
But there's letters.
Yeah, no,
letters.
come on, radio, do better.
Bobby says the light at the end of the tunnel just might be a locomotive train coming right at you. LOL. Well, that's terrifying, Bobby. My goodness, I certainly
like
hope
riding
not.
on choo-choo trains.
Yeah, but you don't want one coming at you. That's terrible.
No, you don't want one coming at you. That might hurt if it came at you. It would squeak. You should know to run.
Tom is asking, I wonder if you have it, do they still give you the shot?
What do you mean? If you have COVID?
I don't know. And I think...
If you have what?
I assume that's what he means, but no.
People who have had COVID are getting vaccinated.
People who have had COVID, yes. But not people who currently
Trump
have
got vaccinated after having
COVID.
Yeah. And that's what they're recommending.
There has been some, from what I've read and what I've heard, some debate over how long, you got to wait at least a few weeks after your symptoms end, I believe, before you have the vaccination. I think there's somewhat of an open question about that, though. I think
I'm not exactly sure what that is. I do know if you had it and it's been greater than 3 months, they're saying get the vaccine.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That much I have heard, but I honestly don't know what the window is for somebody who's had it. I suppose it depends on who you are, how much of a case you had. They could probably draw tighter to see how much of your body reacted and how much, because a titer tells your doctor how much your body is fighting against something, whether it's able to put up a really good fight or not so much of a fight. When I started working in the emergency department years ago, back in Massachusetts, they actually did that to see if I had a titer against chickenpox.
Yeah.
Because we didn't believe that I'd ever had chickenpox, and they would have wanted to vaccinate me. They drew the blood, and lo and behold, I had a small case at some point in my life, but I had enough of a response, an immune response in my body that I did not need to be vaccinated at that time.
Oh, Dan Lavasser brings up something. He says some long haulers are seeing relief when getting the vax.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure most of you do, but long haulers referring to people who, they get over that initial bout of COVID, but they continue to have some level of symptoms. And some people, 6-8 months later are still having difficulties. They're finding that after they get vaccinated, those symptoms finally begin to recede.
I have my own theory on that one, too. What do you got?
Well, you know what's interesting about that?
Yeah.
That occurred to me is, what if, it's probably a long shot, no pun intended, but what if what if I did have COVID?
Yep.
What if my asthma is a long haul symptom of the COVID? And what if once I'm vaccinated, my asthma improves? Now, that's probably not likely, because even though we think I may very well
I've not heard anybody reversing illness
right
after vaccination.
Right,
I think that's a real stretch.
Because if our theory is correct that possibly I did have COVID, and that's why I ended up in the ER on Christmas night 2019, if I did have COVID and the reason I ended up with asthma was the COVID maybe scarred my lungs, that's conceivably permanent.
That'd be a good question to talk to your doc about.
I think it'll be interesting to just see.
There's a lot of questions that are going to come out of all this because there's so much we don't know and we're not going to know for years.
Yeah.
Some stuff we're just not going to know until it gets down the road. What I'm wondering is that with some of the long haul symptoms that aren't like another diagnosis, like asthma, that are symptoms that are 100% attributed to having had COVID. My wonder is that if their bodies fought so hard against COVID and they still have these symptoms, they can't get up enough of an immune response that when they receive the vaccine, that teaches their body how to and gets their body to create an immune response, then gives them enough oomph, if you will, to try and kick out some of the last of the disease that's been lingering in their body, that perhaps they just don't have enough of an immune response. And maybe that's why
Yeah.
vaccine helps. But I don't know. This is all conjecture.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what it's going to mean 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What we know now is going to be 100% different. We may use different. Oh, gosh, I mean, it's wild to be a part of such an amazing time in medicine. It's scary and amazing all at the same time.
Scott Robinson said, my wife got COVID in August and she still can't smell, so we're hoping the vaccine will help that.
That would be interesting
Maybe.
to know. Yeah, no kidding,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. Things that are just like secondary lingering symptoms attributed to the COVID, but not another new diagnosis that you're going to have to treat separately, like asthma being a separate thing. That's what I mean. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Scott Robinson commented to Nick, referring to Nick LaValle, brought great energy to the show this morning. Nick LaValle was on the morning show making a return in studio. It had been a long time.
I heard they were talking about you.
Well, my name came up because, they were actually talking about Gonzo. Because
you got thrown into the...
Because Nick was talking about, like there was a day where, I remember what it was now. He said he actually had to, I'm sure he was kidding, but he said he actually had to kind of tune out WMNH for a little while because it was too much Gonzo. Because Gonzo had, there was one day he was listening, Gonzo had just been on the morning show, and then Gonzo had been on my show the same day, and it was just too much Gonzo.
Hoppy show.
He was Gonzo'd out.
I guess so.
Yeah, yeah.
That can happen.
Yep. Let's see. Just want to make sure we don't miss anybody in here. Some of these comments, some of these comments, I'm not even sure. Oh, Bobby said, I think referring to trivia, I'd rather have one John Hopwood playing trivia than 10 easy G's. Yeah.
Well, I did have Hoppy, and he kind of
let us down a little bit.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got to say, Easy actually had some winning answers there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Scott Robinson was asking, where is Hopwood? I think he might be back in New Mexico. I'm not sure.
He's been hopping all over the place. Yeah.
But I look forward to
being able to have him come back in. Yeah.
I look forward to having him in the studio again. Having him on the phone is horrible. Because he does, I don't know what goes on his end when he's on the phone, but it sounds like, and those of you watching online can see a visual demonstration, because all of a sudden, it sounds like he's kind of far away from his phone, and then all of a sudden it sounds like he's holding his phone right in front of his face, and then he's yelling into his phone, and then suddenly it sounds like his phone is behind his head and I can barely hear him, and then it sounds like his phone is back in front of him but kind of far away, and it's weird.
And
it's
the wind tunnel.
Dude, what are you doing?
Don't forget the wind tunnel.
Yeah, I don't like talking to him on the phone. I love John Hopwood.
I like it when he's in studio.
Yes, we love
and
it.
we can see his put-em.
That's not a knock.
I want to see his put-em.
And referring to his face, we should
Correct.
clarify. This is not unsheathed, so just so people know what you mean.
Who was it that was trying to say it was something else? It's a Yiddish word. Put-em means face.
I think that was Charles Robinson from the Charles Robinson Show.
Yeah, that's who it was trying to pick on me there.
Raw Talk Online, yes.
I had to keep telling him, no, dude, that's not it.
Rocky Huber says, flat earthers are found all around the globe, LOL.
Yeah. That's old.
And he says, I heard Hopwood lost a trivia night. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think we ever won any trivia night, actually. Not one.
Tom Blanchard says, I already know how much my next car repair bill will be. $1,400. Oh, boy. Mike Pelopita is in the Facebook live chat. Mike, of course, from Queen City Cabinetry, another one of our wonderful sponsors here at WMNH, and they're a big supporter of the station and of all the shows.
Do you think if I looked in a furniture advertisements or something that I'd see a bunch of deals for $13.99?
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you probably would.
I'm wondering, it says $13.99 special.
Brian Mackey points out that Tom Gully is the only other green shirt host in the world.
It's not a shirt.
Well, it's not a shirt, but
He's stone
green. On Not Even a Show, hosted by Chris James, there actually are a number of green rated hosts, but Tom Gully, stone green.
Now wait a minute, is he stone green? Like a rock?
Yes, he was.
Or is he? Man,
he was
stone.
No. He was upgraded.
Which way is that?
He was upgraded to stone green. And
yeah, but no, wait. I'm asking for the definition of the stone.
Right,
is
stone
it
as
stone
in
as in a rock,
as in it's in stone. It will never change.
Or No.
Because he had been accidentally downgraded. Chris accidentally downgraded him, and then to correct this.
I thought it was because they got him into ganja.
No.
Oh.
To correct the mistake, Chris made him green. It made it in stone. He's
Chris made him
permanently
green.
green. But I don't know. See, but I'm the original green host on Not Even a
You
Show.
were supposed to be granite green, but that got dropped.
Well, I don't know what my status is now because Chris is mad at me.
I know.
Which
You screwed it up.
I'm genuinely bothered
Seriously.
by. And it frustrates me that I'm genuinely
Can't
bothered
believe you
by
did
it.
that.
He doesn't approve of me talking to Jesse PS from
Well,
Pod
you
Awful.
know, I mean, the language there is a bit much for me sometimes, you
Yeah.
know.
Well,
it's
yeah.
just a bit too...
I know, but you know, I talk to everybody.
I need that upper echelon comedy. I need that collegiate level. It's the sophomoric that doesn't work for me.
I kind of like the guy though, and
I know. I didn't say I didn't like the guy,
and he seems to like us.
I just don't like some of his humor. He does so good, and I'm laughing, and I'm right there with her. And then he throws something
So
stupid
then
in
we have to
there, and then I get
hit the dump
here
button,
comes
yeah.
the dump button,
Yeah,
and then
well.
all the wind goes out of the sail.
He's
and it
got
just
some interesting
lays
friends.
there limp in front of you like it's
And we've
flopping
seen
around,
there's-
dying like dead fish.
There's now clips on the YouTube that other people
saw
have made
that.
involving us and our
I'm in a clip.
conversation.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
like,
weird.
Well, you know,
But this is America. Anything's possible.
it's the new kind of fame. It's the internet fame,
Yes.
which someday will be bigger than regular fame at this rate.
fame. I want no.
That's why we
Wait,
have
that's
all
the morning show.
That's why we have all the paparazzi we have to fight through every day just to get into the building. It's incredible.
Well, you know, if you'd stop telling everybody where we live, that'd be probably a little bit of a help.
No, I meant this building.
yeah,
Christian
this is where you live.
Christian Lacoste is the other problem. No, this is where Gonzo lives. That's why he's on all the shows.
I thought this was where Hoppy lives.
No, I don't know where Hoppy lives.
I thought he was over at the baseballs. See, now I'm all confused.
DJ Midas is in the Facebook live chat. John Midas Manning, of course, host of Late Night Delight, which you can hear every Saturday night from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. with a replay on Sunday night. And for Midas, too, on the morning show a few times. He and Peter White are childhood friends.
I have spent many of an insomnia night listening to great tunes.
Yes.
And slinging some paint.
Yep. He does a great show.
Yep.
And Brian Mackey was asking about Tabletgate with EZG. He hasn't left the tablet yet, so I haven't been able to ship it.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I
don't
do believe
nothing until I see it.
We
No.
can. We'll ask him if he calls, and Eric is, of course, scheduled to Skype in tomorrow to do
what's
his
with that?
entertainment report.
What's with that? What is with this Friday entertainment report stuff? First it was Wednesday, then he wanted to do it earlier, and he did it on Tuesday. Then he didn't do it on Tuesday again. He was going to go back to Wednesday, and he called it on Thursday, and now it's Friday? Like, how am I supposed to know when I'm going to get my Amanda McCarthy dates?
He's mercurial. Sometimes he zigs when you think he's going to zag. It's the
It's
nature
like
of
getting your
Eric.
entertainment report from Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, by the way, and I'm sure this will be included in EZG's entertainment report tomorrow. I'm sure. For those who haven't heard the news, the BBC today. This is very, very sad. The BBC today reporting that Mary Tyler Moore has passed away at the age of 80. Now, there's.
real?
Yeah, now there is a little bit of a twist to this, though. Apparently, Mary Tyler Moore, and some will remember this, actually passed away 4 years ago, but the BBC reported it today.
Oh, no, they got sucked into one of those.
So Mary Tyler Moore,
I didn't think, are there anybody left from the cast still with us?
I'm sorry to bring I don't know, they might all be, is Gavin MacLeod dead? I don't know. But Ed Asner, I think, is still alive, isn't he?
Is he?
I'm not sure.
Oh, my God, I shouldn't be
But
like
so I'm very sorry, everyone, to share the sad news. But Mary Tyler Moore, 4 years ago, did in fact pass away.
I think it's funny that the BBC just caught on.
But her,
those English, they do everything backwards.
her skeleton can still light the world up with its smile, because a skeleton always looks like it's smiling.
Stop it.
It's true,
Stop.
even from beyond the grave.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, Rob Dion says, I was just going to say, I was only listening today because I thought the entertainment report was today.
See what I mean?
Well, I did my own version
See,
of it.
You don't know when to listen because he keeps changing it one day to the next. You never know where it's going to pop up, and then you miss it, and then you got to play catch up.
Yeah.
It's not funny. He needs to make up his mind.
Dan Lavasser says Mary Tyler Moore is no more.
Oh, God, you're just as bad as Maddie.
4 years now. 4 years. Can you believe it? You
For
know,
shame.
and I, you know.
See, and I'm sitting over here going, really? Because honestly, I forgot.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I had forgotten too, and then it's so sad to get the news, the reminder, from the BBC that she died 4 years ago.
See,
it's
they
like
should use my habit.
so terrible.
I just click on it first and look at the date. Mm-hmm. Because most of the time when I see that stuff, it is kind of regurgitated news there. So I check the date, and if it doesn't say 2021, I don't share it.
Yes.
See that's maybe we should write a letter to the BBC and suggest it. Or we could give them an email. You want to call them? No, that might not be a good idea. Management might you'll get suspended again. Don't do that.
Call who?
No, the BBC, because that would be long distance, and that would probably cost too much money. I was going to say, so you could give them some advice so they know not to do that again.
Yeah.
Check the date.
Right.
See?
Right. I need to speak to their death
Yes,
correspondent.
they need us to teach them how.
Yes. Rob Dion says, do you want me to call in and do my entertainment report from this morning? Well, the problem with that is, Rob, I think Easy G would feel there's a lot of jealousy around here. We already know that he's jealous of Christian Lacoste because Easy G wants to live with us and have bunk beds. I mean,
No, he only wants to have the bunk beds with Christian Lacrosse. That's the problem. See, he wants to share.
Right. I mean, he says he doesn't, but we all know that he does. But can you imagine how jealous he would be of Rob Dion if Rob was suddenly doing the entertainment report?
What if Rob and Christian were sharing a room and he was doing the entertainment report? That would really blow his top.
Bobby Champagne says, Tabletgate, could it all just be a big mistake? Easy G is usually great. Oh, how can Easy G change his fate?
That's kind of cute there.
Yes.
Yeah, that was kind of cute.
Very
there.
Nice.
Little turning of the old words there.
Very nice. Michael Albert just joined us in the Facebook live chat. Probably just got heard the news that Mary Tyler Moore had passed away 4 years ago. And he says Easy G needs a tablet tutor.
Oh no, we tried that. It didn't go.
Well, I had originally offered to help him with the tablet, but then I didn't even get to the part where I tried.
But I thought Peter did.
Peter was supposed to help him. I'm not sure what happened
Did he back out
there.
or something? Did he cause Tabletgate?
Oh, careful. You're going to start a whole new...
actually cause the Tabletgate.
Maybe.
Did he fail to give tutelage
a whole new scandal
to his young grasshopper?
or a whole new element to the Tabletgate scandal? That is a good question to ask Easy G because there are a lot of unanswered questions.
I may have stumbled onto something.
Michael Albert is asking, is it an Amazon Fire tablet? I think it was, actually, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Because I have actually seen the
I think
tablet.
it might have been, yeah.
Because Brian had it shipped to us, and then
It was
we
a
presented
brandy
it.
new.
We presented it to Easy G.
Yes.
We presented it to Easy G along with the wonderful note that Brian had typed out.
Easy G used a tablet as a proper paperweight on top of said note.
Well, no, I never
didn't lose it.
I never printed out the note, but I think he did put it on top of his big blue binder.
You screwed up.
I just read the note to him.
You were supposed to print it out so he could put it down with the tablet.
Oh, maybe it's my fault because I didn't print out the note.
Maybe it's you and Peter both.
Well, it wouldn't be
This would not surprise me.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Two evil peeps like you.
Rob Dion says, I bid $100 for the tablet for charity.
Oh, no.
Well, you'd actually have to work that out with Brian Mackey, I guess, because it's really Brian's the one who bought it. And
if it comes around, we may send it back to Brian.
Brian says, did he return it today? No, there was nothing when we got here.
I say the nay, and his magazines are still over there.
The magazines are still here. Those magazines have pictures of women who are scantily clad.
You know, when you originally said that, I thought you were kidding.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, you're not kidding.
No, no. Have you looked?
So men still share magazines.
Apparently, it seems to
I
me
didn't know
like
that was a thing.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea during COVID.
I mean,
but...
the internet's so easy. Like, I don't get it. Maybe it's an older folks thing.
It must. Well, that's when I
I'm gonna get you in so much trouble.
when I still worked for FYE, I left there in October of 2013. We had a section of adult DVDs, and yes, it was old men who would come in and buy them because younger people, obviously, there's just no reason to pay for it. It's all online. But we won't explore that problem any further.
Not on this episode.
Eric Street says, why doesn't Easy use the tablet for wrestling videos and sports? Problem solved.
Well, then, see, now we're going back to the tootling.
But didn't we all kind of assume that's what he was going to use it for?
Well, he never made it online with it.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Because Peter didn't teach him right. He got to teach him right.
Michael Albert says, yeah, you need Wi-Fi to use those. No wonder he had problems. You also need to register an Amazon account to use all the features. They are nice tablets. No iPad, but HD video, and the 10-inch has a good-sized screen. And Christian Lacoste would like the magazines. I could bring the magazines home for Christian. Well, we'll have to ask. Ron brought.
Geez,
Well,
really?
What he does
I
with
don't
the
need
door
to know
closed
this
is
stuff.
not.
I don't need to know these things.
We'll have to ask Ron.
Can't you people keep anything to yourself?
We'll ask Ron next time Ron calls because he's the one who brought the magazines.
How do you know they're not COVID covered?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you know?
Michael Albert says, I used an Amazon Fire 10-inch for a while before I got my iPad Pro. Well, I mean, Rob Dion has offered to bid $100 on the tablet. So,
To go to charity.
Oh, Eric is listening. He just messaged me. He says, I dropped off my tablet on Wednesday morning and Daryl gave it to Peter. Okay.
Okay, but that
Well-
doesn't work.
Well, I don't know where it is now. Brian Mackey sent me $12 to priority ship it back to Brian.
Like, maybe it's over there? Maybe it's somewhere around here?
I don't know.
There's a bag down there. We know it's in the manila envelope. Those magazines, you know, that's that manila envelope thing. Is that it?
Oh,
Aha!
I think it is.
You just needed me to actually look and find it. Wow! Haha.
Here it is.
Typical guy.
Yep, it is here.
Don't lift up anything and look in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, see, there you go, Brian.
Well, there you go.
It is here.
Unless Brian wants to sell it to Rob Dion for $100, I guess Rob wants to.
I thought he said charity. Or did he want to donate it to a charity?
I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You guys talk amongst yourselves and let us know.
Yeah.
Well, see, there's one crisis averted. How lovely. I do not want to see those magazines. I don't want to hear about those magazines.
Yeah.
You can keep your need to make a woman look worthless.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Well, let's take a break. We are at the top of the hour, so we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get into some stuff. That first hour flew by.
Noticed.
Yes. Let's see. I have something in mind to play.
I want to go back outside.
Oh yeah,
It's so nice.
beautiful out. It's beautiful out. So we'll take a break and show some love to our sponsors. And we'll come back and more Matt Connarton Unleashed coming up. Don't go away.
But everybody knows who this guy is. Come on, man.
Welcome back, everybody, to our number 2 numero dose of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And we are live from the studios of I'm laughing at the chat room, the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM here in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. Streaming at WMNHradio.org and on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And for all the information on the show, other audio streaming options and where you can get the show on your social media and all of that, you can go to my website, mattconnerton.com. Jenny is here at the news desk.
I am.
And today is Thursday,
Yeah,
March 25. What's that?
It is. The month has just flown by.
Yes, yes. The Ides of March.
Now comes the lamb.
Oh. Right. In like a line, out like a lamb.
Yeah,
yes.
now we're in the lamb's phase.
I
now.
don't like lamb. I think it tastes very strange and I refuse to eat it ever.
Okay.
But that reminds me, Greek people eat lamb, right?
I don't know.
I think so. Today is Greek Independence Day or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
neat.
yeah. So I was thinking about eating some feta cheese. Maybe.
I love feta cheese.
I do too.
It
I
has
do
been
too.
recommended to switch to a Mediterranean diet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
There you go.
So there's that.
There you go. I miss my salad bar at the supermarket.
I know, right?
Maybe this summer it'll be back.
I don't know. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Now that we know that it's not as surface dependent as we thought.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep, there's that science thing again. We learn as we go.
That's right. If you'd like to call us, 603-250-6007 is the number, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. Please give that a like if you haven't done so already. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And
He's everywhere.
Yes, omnipresent. Yes.
You're all over the place.
That's right.
Get it on, people.
So it appears that Tabletgate, this terrible scandal, is truly coming to a close. Rob Dion is going to purchase
It's been like a
the
year.
tablet. No.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't been a year.
Yeah, it's been like a year.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months. I don't know. I mean, it's been a while.
More than that. Yeah.
I mean, we
It's
know
been a minute.
we know it. Oh, the young people say that.
I know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah,
It
it's
still
been a minute.
sounds weird
Yeah.
to me.
We know it was before the holidays because EZG First tried to donate the tablet to the Miracle on Elm Street.
This is true.
It was.
But was
it
it
was.
before Thanksgiving?
I don't know if it was before Thanksgiving. It was obviously before Christmas,
people.
but
Well, it's been almost a year.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
say that.
Yes,
Here we
almost
go.
a year. Let's see. So, Rob Dion is going to purchase the tablet for charity.
Unless somebody wants to get into a bidding war with him so that they'll have some fun raising money. He's waiting for somebody
Yes.
to build 110.
No, I think that's over because Rob Dion has already sent Brian Mackey the money via PayPal.
Oh, wow.
And Brian, I will send you back your $12 via PayPal.
Yeah.
Brian was asking, so Matt, does no need to ship it back now? Does $12 buy a 3X T-shirt? But I don't think we have a 3X, so I'll just
Not a 3, no.
Yeah, I'll just stop. But I will PayPal you back the $12. So very good, very good. And now I don't have to deal with it. I'm out.
Now, wait a minute. Where does the tablet go?
I'm gonna put it back on that shelf, and I assume Rob Dion will come in to get it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put a note on it that says Rob Dion. Like there's a marker. Write his name. So people know what it is.
Yeah, well, that's a good
for
idea.
him.
That's a good idea.
You know, instead of just tossing it over there
Well, I wasn't
like
gonna
somebody
toss it.
else we
I
know.
was gonna- what do you mean?
Peter just leaves it. No note, no nothing.
Well, I think he
Just tosses
assumed.
it over
I think he
there.
assumed everyone knew what
Whatever,
was going
no
on.
big deal.
We don't know that he tossed it. He may have placed it very carefully.
Tossed it on the shelf. Not a care in the world.
Bobby,
Get a bit big for his britches, I think.
Bobby Champagne. Well, he's very tall.
Well, it's because of the cardboard head.
Yes, well, that too. The cardboard Peter Whitehead
Gave him
is
a big
very
head.
large. Yes, you couldn't fit that in britches.
Like Caesar.
Bobby was not apparently tempted into bidding. He said, I really do not want or need a tablet that EZG is possessed for a few weeks and taken with him who knows
such
where
a bratty baby.
to do who knows what with.
I
I will pass on this one, LOL. Sorry, guys.
You know what?
I don't know that he's wrong.
Seriously. No! Knock it off. There's none of this cootie garbage. Sophomoric
boy.
men.
Ugh.
Can't take you people anywhere. So I'm going to think I'm going to establish an all-girls team, maybe.
Huh?
Maybe we should have an all-girls trivia team.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And you guys can come over and we can kick your butts week after week.
Uh-huh.
Kind of liking that idea. I might have to think about that one.
Right.
But then who would be with me? There's too many men in this studio. We need more women. Miriam. I have Miriam at least.
Bobby's looking for a roofer and a siding guy. Okay. I'm scrolling down here. There's just too much to keep up with, but I do want to make sure we acknowledge everyone in there. Let's see. All right, they're discussing the tablet. I do have an email that I received from Mike Doyle. So yesterday on the show,
You're going to give me a headache, aren't you?
after the call from Mike Doyle, we were discussing the insulin issue.
Somebody send me some wine.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Well, so Mike Doyle sent me this because people in the Facebook live chat were responding to Mike Doyle's call. And I have noticed
He
it now.
lives in another world.
Well, I like Mike Doyle, and I appreciate his calls.
I didn't say I didn't like the guy.
No,
I just
I know.
said he lives on another planet.
I know. And I appreciate his calls because I actually want people to call and disagree with me on things. I don't want it to just be like, in conservative talk radio, you typically have a conservative host who only talks to conservative guests and only takes calls from conservative listeners, and it's a giant celebration of groupthink. But I don't want that to be my show.
I'd say something, but it might have to be dumped. So
Oh, my goodness. So, I mean, that's what most conservative talk shows are. This show is, I don't consider myself a liberal talk show host. I'm kind of
it's
centrist.
Leaning.
But,
now, come on.
but I am left. Oh, I am left leaning, yes.
Come, liberal
but the
media
point
is no better than conservative media. Everybody strokes their own.
Oh, sure. But the point being, I do want people to call and challenge me on things and disagree with me. I don't want it to all just, be...
Well, can't it ever be somebody who lives on the same planet as you? Because Doyle doesn't live on this planet.
Oh, no, he's closer. He's right in Manchester, I think.
No, in his planet, the Orange Cheeto was the best president that ever seen the world.
Well, yes, certainly. He is...
bestest, biggest ever.
Clearly a resident of MAGA land, yes.
Who makes, stupid contracts and...
But he
get
did
out of his own way.
He emailed me. He sent me this email in response to some of the Facebook comments. Facebook responses is the title of the email. This is very short, but we'll share it with everyone out of fairness, because Mike does not participate in the Facebook live chat, and I don't think he's on Facebook. He's not really a social media guy. I don't think he is. But he wrote me and he said, and this actually, he sent me this yesterday after the show. He said, Matt, love how some of your listeners can't call in and prove me wrong via fax and a conversation with you. I'm open to other opinions, facts that I may have not known of, etc. Instead, it is a barrage of insults, BS, buy him a blow-up doll,
Wow.
etc. No facts.
Way to prove me white, dude.
Quite amazing. Good show today, touching on some vital subjects we are all dealing with. Mike, I don't remember the thing about the blow-up doll.
I don't know where the blow-up doll came from, but I know what this is about because he's a gooba, and he thinks that Trump was all that in a bag of chips and set us up for this wonderful vaccination program. Not. Why did it take so long to get out of the gate? Because he was a gooba. He made contracts with people. Look, he set up a plan with Walgreens and CVS to administer vaccines, but no other pharmacy because, the local pharmacist might not be able to get to the people in that community faster, you gooba, because that's how West Virginia did it. They empowered their pharmacists. Their pharmacists went out there and vaccinated their people, and lo and behold, they just opened up already to everybody 16 and older. And let's not leave out the fact that Trump was all high and mighty about the vaccine being discovered, but let's not talk about how the heck you're going to get it into somebody's arm, like vaccinators, how you're going to move said product. What about the other supplies like syringes, needles, alcohol swabs, and little Band-Aids? Where's that coming from? Trump didn't give us anything but a goodie. The vaccine got discovered while he was still in. Wonderful. Science worked, even though Trump has tried to thwart science every way he could since no, I won't say it since the beginning, because the first couple of months, he actually sounded like somebody I would follow. He literally got handed a second term on a silver platter and threw it out the door. Because if he'd stayed the president he was when this first started, he'd still be president today.
When they did not when it first started, but when he did the 15 days to slow the spread. When it first started, when it first started, he was
when
like,
he called
it's
himself
a cold.
a war president.
A wartime
and he literally
president.
sounded presidential.
Now, I have to take issue, though, with your comment about Mike thinks Trump is all that in a bag of chips. With knowing Trump's eating habits, I think it's more likely all that in a Big Mac.
I stand corrected.
Thank you.
I stand corrected.
I appreciate that.
I stand corrected. But seriously, that's not a plan. A vaccination plan for the entire country takes more than making a couple of contracts with Walgreens and CVS. You know, I mean, and that's, I say that because I want people to understand. You made a contract with two specific pharmacy chains. Nobody else. Do you think those two are everywhere? Because that's not how it works. And here's another little kicker. You want to talk about why minorities aren't getting or we're not getting the vaccine access as much as before. Because how do we set up vaccination centers? By pharmacies. And if your neighborhood doesn't have a pharmacy because you're in the poor side of town, there's not a vaccination center as close to you. But if you live in the grand city of Manchester, where there's a pharmacy, there's 10 pharmacies for every block, we'll get more. That's how it works. That's how it was set up to work. That's not okay. Because he carved out a little agreement, which, you know what? I want to know, where's the money? Show me the money. Who got paid off? Who made money off of that Walgreens CVS deal that Trump did that backfired, that slowed down vaccinations, and it was an utter failure? But okay, Mikey, we'll call that a success. Not. I'm sorry, was that too hard?
No.
I was just checking.
Rob Dion in the chat says, because facts do not exist with Mike Doyle, period. Why argue what doesn't exist? I'd rather pluck my eyelashes out. Oh, my goodness. Well, I wouldn't do that. Michael Albert refers to alternative facts. Bobby Champagne says Trump lost the election. We all need to move on and criticize Biden now. It's the American way.
I'll criticize him, too.
Yes.
I got news for you. I took issues with him today, too. So don't worry about it. I'm there, too. But on Mike Doyle's specific email, which is what we're addressing right now, buddy, is his whole problem with what we all have to say about the vaccine rollout. He wants Trump to be hailed as the superhero of vaccination, and then he's not.
Right. Michael Albert says it's not like Operation Warp Speed was all that complicated. Just give a bunch of pharmaceutical companies big subsidies. Yeah, true.
Yeah, so Trump gave you that. So there you go, buddy. All right, I'll give you. Yeah, there you go.
No, I do agree though that Trump, had he stayed the course and seemed like my perception was that Trump got bored with the whole thing after a while. But if he had stayed the course, I've said this, if Trump had acted more like our governor here, Chris Sununu, a Republican who takes COVID very seriously, Trump would have won re-election. Instead, he felt like he had to play to the base of the Republican Party, which is, these COVID denier, anti-masker people. And Trump was walking on eggshells, so afraid to upset them that he lost the plot in terms of, his attitudes about COVID in the macro sense. Whereas if he had paid more attention in the macro sense, yes, he could have won a second term. I absolutely believe that.
And seriously, I really believe it doesn't come down to some big scientific reason or something we have to philosophize or whatever. It comes down to he got bored. He was done with it. He couldn't play with it no more. He couldn't make nothing out of it no more. That's exactly when he started saying, it'll be gone by Easter. You remember that? It'll be gone by Easter. It'll be a figment. It'll be all poof. It'll be gone. You won't see it anymore. Yeah, it'll be gone. And he said that all the way through. And then it got to be election day. Yeah. It'll be gone by election day.
We've rounded the corner.
That's a proof.
As we were approaching the apex of the awfulness of the death and hospitalizations and everything, and he goes, "Yep, we've rounded the corner on COVID." It's like, oh my God,
he's definitely up there as probably numero uno president that I would point to say had the dumbest declaration of success on nothing I've ever seen. I thought Bush was the worst when he had the sign up, mission accomplished. You know, the one that we still have troops in there for? Yeah, that one. Yeah, so I thought that was bad. This is way worse.
Yeah.
You can't even imagine this is worse. I mean, we're going to be decades from now, they're going to be studying this in college, him on video going, it's going to disappear, and it'll be a whole new class about cults and how people, follow along their cult leaders. It'll just disappear. It'll magically be poof. It'll be gone. He actually said that. Poof. That's so presidential. It'll be gone.
We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Matt. This is Karen. How are you?
Good, Karen. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I just have to chime in something really quick as far as the vaccination and Trump and all his supporters that say, he did the warp speed thing. Mm-hmm. They have to realize he didn't get rid of any red tape. There has always been an emergency release authorization for medications and vaccinations for this very same thing. Mm-hmm. Through the federal government. He did nothing new. It was put through that once the vaccines came through, and they showed by their data that they would be effective.
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
Actually, yes. And you can point to, I believe it was either today or yesterday, the Biden administration gave approval for the Johnson & Johnson Corporation to work with another corporation to produce mass production of their vaccine. They've got the science. They've got the method. They just need someplace else to help them do it. And the government just gave them that permission. There was an article on that earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. Yeah, it just sometimes people are like, yeah, he did the warp speed. He got it through all the red tape. He didn't do any red tape. It's always been there.
He made it worse. You remember? We had state against state. We had state battling against another state to buy gloves, to buy gowns, to buy basic needs for medical supplies to take care of people. He wasn't anywhere in there going, hey, let's get it together. Let's work it together and do this. He had state fighting against state. He just stood up there in front of his little podium and went, well, it's states' rights. The states will take care of it. It's states' rights.
Well, after he had declared himself a wartime president, because that's what you do if you're fighting a war. You say, I'm a wartime president. Oh, but we're going to let the states figure it out. It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
But before he declared that it would magically disappear.
Well.
Like Lucky Charms.
Right.
And, he really didn't have a plan. So besides the fact that he wasn't a president to begin with, this country would be so much more trouble as far as the vaccination rollout, because he didn't have a plan. 2 pharmacies, like you said, Jenny, weren't going to do any good for the whole country.
Exactly.
So his proclamation that Trump should get some credit, he denied science. Science came up with it. Mm-hmm. He didn't have any red tape to go through. The FDA already had that all settled. So he really doesn't deserve any credit at all.
Exactly. He got in the way more than he helped. I mean, here in the state of New Hampshire, I know from personal experience and training, there's a very great, there's an organization here that works wonderfully in our medical community. We've got it. We've practiced it. They've done it for decades. They should have been handled it from day one, but we got piecemealed because Trump couldn't get out of the way.
He did do the 15 days to slow the spread. I mean, there was that, and that is something.
He didn't do it.
Well,
he didn't do it. The credit for that goes to his VP.
Well, Pence was spearheading the thing, but without Trump getting on board with it, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, well, no, and that's because they kind of call it the Trump plan. It was the president. This is the plan. The president's plan to slow the spread for 15. Yeah. See, the president's plan. Remember, he was walking around with this little placard, pointing at it all the time. The president's plan to slow the spread in 15 days. And then the president comes out, he's going to show Pence how good he is in supporting him and goes, it'll disappear by Easter.
Yeah. I want to see those.
It's just going to disappear.
I want to see those church pews packed. Remember when he said that?
Hey, where was his vaccination plan going when he was telling everybody it was going to disappear. So, like, we don't need the vaccine anymore. It's just poof. Is that what he was trying to sell us?
I don't know.
And I just have one last thing to say is, as far as Mr. Doyle, his politics, I can disagree with completely, but I do have to say he's a very nice man.
Yes.
So people in the face, I don't look at Facebook Live, but just remember, it's just his politics that you can disagree with, but he's really a nice man.
And that's what I keep saying.
I
I
agree.
like him as a person.
He bought Easy G shoes once. He took him to Walmart and bought him shoes, and he brought us a pizza.
Even a Trumpkin can have some redeeming qualities.
And he brought us a pizza when we were doing the coverage of the New Hampshire
Yeah, well,
primary.
he brought you a pizza, not us. I wasn't with you.
Well, you weren't there, but I mean,
Lice
us.
in
It
your
was
pocket saying that?
Peter White and I, and Daryl Dion, and look, I mean,
You
once
guys
you've
got to see the guy thing again.
Once you've gotten into my stomach, you're also always in my heart.
Whoa. Ew. Back off.
It's true.
Oh,
Okay,
Karen,
I'll leave it
save
at
me,
that.
Win. Save me.
You guys
Don't
have a
leave
great
me.
evening.
Don't leave me, Karen.
All right, Karen, thank you for the call.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She left me
Yes.
with
well,
you.
He brought us food, so, you know.
Brought you food. You keep saying us. He brought you food.
Right.
Unless I'm not sitting in this room. What am I? I'm chopped liver again. Why is that always happening here?
Well,
Why is that always happening here?
I see Barry is among us. Tom Blanchard says, Tom Blanchard, former Trump supporter, he said he lost me when he wouldn't take our safety seriously. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Gee, maybe. Elitist much? Speaking of which, we saw this before we came in. Trump, he wasn't, he certainly made sure that his peoples were getting in there faster than other people, cutting lines to get vaccines for the Trump staff.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah. I actually want to talk about that. I got that link that you sent me.
Yeah, seriously.
Rob Dion says, I agree that Mike Doyle is a nice man, even though we are polar opposites politically. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
See, you're getting a lot of love. It's not about you as an individual human being. It's about your beliefs.
And Bobby Champagne also says, for the record, I agree with Karen about Mike Doyle. I'm only criticizing his politics only. Yes,
Right.
Absolutely.
And I don't care what he says. Trump doesn't get to take credit for vaccine distribution. He didn't do anything with it.
Bobby Champagne says, I have a feeling we are going to see a conservative Republican woman arise at the forefront before the next election season comes around.
That would be the smart move, but I don't think they're as smart.
If the R's were smart.
They're
well,
not smart.
It could have been Nikki Haley.
You know why you're not smart? Because I'll tell you, from my personal experience, a lot of those guys are still old school thinking. Still old school. They don't see a woman as their equal still.
It could have been Nikki Haley, but then she confused everyone because she criticized Trump, which made everyone mad at her, all the Republicans mad at her, and then she backtracked and tried to make nice with Trump, and then Trump rejected her. Remember that?
Yes.
She wanted to go to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump, and Trump said no, denied.
He only gives second chances to the guys.
And with that, Nikki Haley's political career is probably over.
Thrown to the curb.
Yeah.
Thrown to the curb.
Yeah.
Yesterday's news.
But yeah, you had shared this story from Business Insider.
Yeah, that caught me off guard because I didn't see that. I honestly thought that those people would be so anti-vax that there wouldn't be any of that going on.
It says a top official at a Chicago hospital that wrongly administered COVID-19 vaccines to Trump Tower employees has resigned. The bullet points are an official at a Chicago hospital involved in wrongly vaccinating Trump Tower employees resigned. CNN reported that Dr. Anosh Ahmed, or Ahmed, the CFO and COO of Loretta Hospital, stepped down Wednesday. Vaccines were reportedly given to ineligible workers under a program meant for underserved areas.
How do you like that?
Yeah.
That's the Trump's administration version of helping. What was that word again, Maddie? Little served?
Underserved.
Underserved. Who's underserved, Maddie? Why are they skipping the underserved? Who are the underserved, Maddie?
apparently in this case it was Trump Tower employees. But that's
Yeah, I'm not buying
But
that.
it's supposed to be, minorities, people in rural areas,
Think
But
people are on state aid, have a hard time getting access to things. You mean those people?
yeah.
You didn't mean the Gold Tower?
No.
You sure?
It says a top official at a Chicago hospital that was involved in improperly administering vaccines to ineligible Trump Tower employees has resigned. Dr. Anosh Ahmed, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, CEO and COO of Loretta Hospital, stepped down on Wednesday over the incident. CNN reported that Ahmed owns a $2 million condo in Trump Tower. Block Club Chicago first reported in mid-March that vaccine providers made a visit to administer vaccines to employees at Trump Tower under Project Chicago Plus, a program meant to deliver vaccinations to underserved communities of color in designated zip codes on the city's south and west sides.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Trump Tower Chicago, located in the city's downtown area, was not in one of the designated zip codes, nor were its employees eligible to be vaccinated by virtue of being hotel workers.
Multi-million dollars. Yeah, you don't think?
Yeah. Well.
What jerks.
Yeah.
You're a real piece of work.
Well.
A real piece of work. That's also like people who are disabled and have a harder time getting out to get to a vaccination site. A lot of times that's the kind of stuff that's set up with services.
Right.
Like the local fire department. It was one of the local medics that gave me my shot.
Oh, someone's offering me a taco.
I like tacos. Who's offering tacos?
Well, that's someone
I like
not someone we mention anymore. We have a call. We'll grab this.
Oh, forget. I see that. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, it's Mike Doyle.
Hey, Mike. I thought
Were your ears burning?
I thought we might be getting a call from you.
I thought I'd spew up a little more hate, which instead of a discussion, which I'm just trying to have.
Well, we actually though.
What hate? I didn't give you any hate.
You've gotten some very nice comments.
Yeah.
Some nice comments in the chat room today, Mike.
Yeah, well,
not
that's
about
good.
not
it's
about your
good.
not
just
about your
have
politics, but
just want to have a discussion. That's all. No, I don't need hate. Nobody.
No, of course.
I don't want to hate
Nobody's...
anybody. I don't want anybody to hate me. Just want to have a discussion.
Of course.
So, hey, I just sent you over an email. This is how disinformation gets out there. So Jenny was talking about the Trump vaccine, and there was only 2 pharmacies. I believe. Is that what she was saying?
I was referring specifically to the deal that he made with Walgreens and CVS. Yes.
Yeah. So according to the HHS records, which is you can get it on MS, you can get it on multiple places, but I got it off MSN. Let me give you just an idea of the list. Albertson Companies, which is Osco, Albertson,
Dude,
Safeway,
I'm not talking. No, I wasn't.
Shaw's. Costco Wholesale,
Where we are now,
Keep
yes.
USA, CVS Pharmacy, Good Neighbor Pharmacy, Health Mart Systems, Hy-Vee, Leadership Net.
We don't need
Managed
you
Health,
to do that. That's not what I was talking
supermarkets,
about. Mike, stop.
Public supermarkets, Rite Aid.
Mike, don't be jerk. Don't be a jerk.
I'm not trying to be a jerk. I was just trying to read the list.
I'm asking.
There's a
Listen,
lot
you
more.
don't listen. I'm not talking about right now. I was referring specifically to when Trump was still in office and he was talking about Operation Warp Speed. This is a known fact. This is everybody knows this. He created a deal with Walgreens and CVS, and though he may have thought that was a good deal at the time, it backfired. It wasn't good. It actually caused some hiccups and problems.
That's not what the well, all I'm trying to tell you is, we don't have to argue. We can just double check. But according to what I'm reading right in my hand, the HHS has the list of all the vendors that signed on as of November the 6th to give shots. And it includes Walmart, Walgreens,
That's a sign. No.
Costco.
You are conflating two different things. You're talking about
I don't think so. But...
Yes, you are, and I actually am very aware of this particular thing because it actually came up with my parents in Massachusetts. Their doctor, their primary, had signed up just like that. That's a sign up. Everybody who says they're willing to do it doesn't mean you get a contract. Doesn't mean anybody's going to hand you a vaccine. Says you're willing to do it. In the very beginning, especially. They were looking for people who were willing to make the investment in the refrigerators and freezers that would be necessary. And my parents' doctor actually bought one of those said machines and was on the list. And then this whole thing with Walgreens and CVS, he never saw a single vaccine. He was never allowed to give any vaccines to anybody. The fact that his name was on that list didn't mean anything. And
according to the HHS.
You can tell me a million people who say they're willing. That doesn't mean they've been tapped or given anything to give anyone.
Here is the list
now
of chain and community pharmacy networks that have signed on as of November 6th.
Have signed on. Do you know what signed on means? Signed on means we're willing, we're available, and we will invest. We will do what we need to do to be able to do this. That is a sign on. Actually being given
so is that different than he just made a deal with two people? And,
he made a deal.
Didn't work out?
Mikey, just go. If this isn't something I'm pulling out of my tuchus here. It's all. Pick any news media you want, including Fox. Go back and look. When Trump was in office, he made a specific deal with Walgreens and CVS that did not include anybody else but Walgreens and CVS. And the deal didn't work out the way that, Republicans were hoping it was going to do. Because lo and behold, you need more than two chains.
Yeah, well, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Publix,
Goody.
Walmart,
Here we're going back to the
Winn-Dixie stores.
Everybody who stood up and said,
all on the list here.
Yeah,
So,
great.
I don't know.
Glad you got a sign-up sheet.
I'm just
Wonderful.
saying the HHS record showed something different. That's all.
Yay! Everybody signed up. Isn't that great? It's like one of those stupid. What is it? Everybody. I can't even speak anymore, Maddie. I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I just wanted to bring that up. All right. Have a good show.
All right, Mike.
I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Bye-bye. All right, that was
sign up.
Our friend Mike Doyle.
They signed up in last November. Yes, they signed up.
By the way, so Jeff Nyhan is in the chat room. Jeff commented, Matt, I don't think you want that taco. But Jeff also said, some of us are smart. We need to reclaim the party back to what I call responsible Republicans and work with all individuals to make common sense decisions for the country. The R party has not been there in years.
And I agree with you.
Yeah.
The party of Reagan is gone.
Well, I would like...
The party of Reagan is gone, and the party of Reagan was a heck of a lot more proper, concerning, empathetic, gave a care. I mean, you can say a lot of things about Reagan, but it was a heck of a lot better of a political party than it is now. Now this Jerry Springer version that Trump brought us.
I would like, I will say this, I would like to see a more Sununu Republican Party.
Baker.
And I don't mean
Sununu / Baker.
And I don't.
I like Baker.
Yeah, and I don't mean John Sununu either. I mean Chris Sununu, the one Republican I did vote for in the last election.
We throw a little bit of what's her name in there that ran on the Democratic side from Hawaii that I like so.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. Yes. Yeah. A little in the mixture. Maybe.
I'm becoming suspicious of her.
Why? I like her.
Something weird. She's going on Tucker Carlson and they're agreeing on stuff, and it's like, what's going on here?
She actually, she was my choice.
I know.
To be honest with you,
yeah, I know.
I really liked her, I like the fact that she served.
I did too, but now I'm
and really served, like really gets it.
We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt. Jeff Nyhan. How are you?
Hey, good, Jeff. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, I just got to chime in. I'm like I said in that comment, I'm on the Republican side, but we haven't been to a point where, we're just so far gone at this point. We can't have conversations with people, but some people can't. We can't express our feelings, and we can't listen to other people that might not agree with us to come up with a solution. And that's where Jenny brought up Reagan. He was. You could say what you want about him, but he was somewhat good at that.
Yeah.
And I think over the last, and don't get me wrong, I'll admit I voted for the guy, but I think something happened where we just went off the edge.
Mm-hmm.
The whole party
Trump
went
happened.
off the edge.
Up until
and
Trump, it wasn't like
we gotta
that.
Bring him back.
I was a Republican. But now it's I couldn't be a Republican anymore without feeling embarrassed and just sad and sick for my party that at the time was just degrading everybody just by who they were, by what they were. It was too hard.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we just have to, the Republican Party, I say we, I'm not even sure where I'm at anymore, but at this at this point, we have to look and say, where are we? Where are we going? And if we want to maintain this party, we need to, take some action to understand, what it was, what it is now, and how we get to where we can be with everybody. And this whole pandemic shows that we all have to work together, right?
Yeah, but how do you put it back in the barn? How do you stop it now? With like Reagan was always, you never speak ill of another Republican. That was one of the most basic principles. Yeah. How do we put that back in the barn and get Republicans to stop attacking each other even?
Yeah, I don't know, Jenny, if that's possible. But I think it's societal where we're just, and I'm not saying we, Republicans, but people in general are just at a point where they don't care anymore. They'll say whatever to anybody, and we're losing that friendship side, that humanitarian side, where we try to be nice to people and help people. That's how I was brought up. Yeah, and I think as a society, we're moving away from that. So. Listen, I was super critical of the current president, and I say the same thing that I did when people were questioning Trump. Let's see what he can do. I was super against the vaccine, as you guys probably know. I'm against that. I was against masks. I got the vaccine the other day.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing
it's the only
that.
way it's going to stop.
No, seriously.
It's the only way it's going to stop.
What changed your mind? What got you to decide to take the vaccine where you were opposed to it before?
Well, I figured if I read the science that they were not injecting microchips in me.
There you go.
So, now, I'm just on the fence about it. It's not something that I'm comfortable with. But at some point, you got to go, hey, how are we going to end this? Are we going to end it by wearing masks for the next 3, 5, 10 years? No.
We're going to end it by vaccinating our way out of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And then when I was just real quick, and I'll let you guys go. When I was up at I got it up at Southern New Hampshire, and these people are saying, we vaccinated 3,000 people or the last 2 days or whatever. And it seems like, everything's going well for people with this. Yeah. I haven't heard anything terrible about it. But I cannot give enough accolades to Chris Sununu. I know some people aren't, but Chris is a friend, and the National Guard were awesome. Beyond awesome.
That's what I was saying about New Hampshire and the way that New Hampshire has traditionally trained its people. That's the kind of drills that I would do would be with fire department mixed with the National Guard, with different hospitals. Like, they've trained for this. And Sununu knew that. Yeah. He tapped right in. He didn't hesitate. Yeah. And I think that I agree. I agree 100%. I am happy with the way Sununu has done this.
Yep. Good. Listen, guys, enjoy a great show today. Obviously, it's good to talk about the current issues here, and I'm good to listen to both sides of the aisle and see if we can. We just got to remember that we're all in this thing together. To quote a silly phrase, and let's we just got to work together to get stuff done.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Jeff, thank you so much for the call. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Great call from Jeff Nyhan. We actually have to start to wrap up because the show's been going by so quick today. I almost forgot it's Thursday. So
my goodness, you're right.
The weekly die-on is coming up next, so we'll play a little music for the transition. But we do need, we are still in the COVID era, so we need time to wipe up and sanitize and clean and all that before between shows. So make sure we keep everybody safe. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. But thank you to everyone who called today. Jenny, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNH.
Taking me for tacos now?
WMNH. I think someone else wants to provide tacos, but I don't know.
With you.
But we got to go. Stick around. The weekly die-on, however, is coming up next at 6 p.m. right here on WMNH. And that's it for us for now. I'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.